Now, I'm going to be referencing a lot of different people and a lot of different names and stuff. I'm going to be throwing out some more rabbit holes for you to dig down if you're interested, because I don't have all the information, but I'm really happy to provide you with as much information as I can so that you can also seek these things out yourself. There's a really interesting neuroscientist that I'd like to mention. His name is Todd Murphy. He's an author, and he's working in the field of psychic phenomena and its relation to the human brain. Really interesting stuff. He's worked with Ingo Swann. He's worked with some of those really famous remote viewers, which were working with the CIA. Now, Ingo Swann and remote viewing is a little different than what we're trying to do. It's in the same realm, but remote viewing and blindfolded sight and remote seeing or infovision, they're a little different. Remote viewing can be more of a vague thing. They get across the very front of their perception a flash of an image or something or a feeling, or often it's very question and answer based, and that's tapping into this field of infinite knowledge, this field of infinite information, which pervades and covers everything, and we all have access to that. Akashic records, or just history, clairvoyance, looking into the past, also looking into the future. According to Russell Targ and some of them, looking into the future is just as easy as looking into the past. If you're looking at reference from Mark Komisaroff, they speak more about just looking into the past because that's a much easier verifiable thing to do, but checking whether you're right in the future can be a lot more challenging. But there's several remote viewing instances where Ingo Swann has viewed an object and then they were not able to even verify what he viewed until an hour or a year into the future, and it shows that yes, they were able, or he, would say, oh, they went to this park, and it's like the people hadn't even arrived at the park yet, but that is where they were going, and he just saw it ahead of time. Now, remote seeing, what we're talking about, blindfolded sight, is going to be a lot different. It's going to be very visual and very precise. You're going to actually see the world around you as if your eyes are open. Some people it is different. I mean, Mark Komisaroff talks about how with children it's a lot easier to develop the direct vision, and with adults, he has found one of his students, Olga, she ended up having a much better perception of just more on that question and answer basis. But it can all develop, and we can all develop the ability to see. Because, Mark's results are not the only results. There's MPUSA, there's other places where they do teach different methods that allow anyone and everyone to see. MPUSA goes over a few different things. The Merpati Putih itself is a offshoot of a martial arts from Silat in Indonesia. It is focuses on the mind, the body, and the spirit. So not only do they do Getaran, which is the blindfolded sight, which Nick and Nate Selesnik have coined as Vibravision over in Utah. They focus not only on sensing the energy and opening the internal sight, but they use their hands a lot because they incorporate chi and all that. There's a whole other side to being able to sense and feel your own chi, being able to build it, being able to manipulate it. This can also, crazy stuff, I posted another video on my thing showing these kids actually doing telekinesis. And it's with this bioelectricity, with this chi, ki, tenaga dalam, prana, whatever you want to call it. It's referenced in all cultures, almost all cultures, that this is a very real thing. And it's only in the United States that we're like, we can't measure it. So we don't want to define it. I'm not quite sure if I'll be getting too much into chi stuff. I really want to focus primarily on the blindfolded sight. That is a separate aspect, and many people, you don't need the whole. It can help, working with your body and mind is definitely an incredible thing, and I may do something more on that later. But we're going to get our blindfolded sight down. We're going to all become clairvoyants, because this is a very real thing. It's not magic. Anyone can do it. You just got to learn and develop it. It is a dormant sense that we haven't really used. And a really important part about getting it activated is we have to be able to trust it. We have to be able to differentiate between what is real information coming in and what is our imagination. And once we're able to differentiate and figure out, like, okay, this is the real one, then our brain will eventually start to trust, like, okay, this is real information, and it will rely on our infovision, our blindfolded sight, just as much as it would rely on our regular sight. It will fully trust it. We won't have the monkey mind constantly questioning, is this that? Is this this? What is it? Am I really doing this? No, it must be. We're going to learn to be able to develop that trust. It's a whole new visual pathway that we're developing in our brain, and it's going to take a little bit of time to almost rewire your brain to start to say, yes, this is a new sense. I can trust it. It is, objectively true information, and it is a reliable source of information. We're going to be going over a lot of interesting stuff. I hope that was some good info. It's a little intro video, and I hope you're excited because we're going to be doing some cool stuff. We're going to start with some meditations, some breathing, some ways to kind of find your light, and I hope you stick around with me for the rest of it because it is going to be awesome. Thank you so much.